Mike, you don't get to show your tractors much.
I don't. I'm pretty excited about this.
Your Dirt Perfect channel has to focus on excavators all the time.
These guys make some rare appearances, but they're always in the background.
Today we're going to walk through all of the Dirt Perfect tractors.
Tractor line.
Let's get started.
So Tim, I got 2 kids, a wife, and then this tractor. This is my baby.
So you're not going to let me take this one home?
This is not going home with you. This tractor is still in use every day. It's I think this may be a whole nother video. This is where my excavating empire started, was with this little
655.
piece. This is the rarest of the 55 series.
Yeah, it was just a little bit probably too small for most people.
It's only got 16 horse, Yamaha engine. I think the 318s were more powerful and half the size. But this is what I had, Tim. This is what I used, and I mean, I could go on for, if I told you some of the stuff.
Did you buy it new?
No. My grandparents actually bought this tractor with 72 hours on it.
Okay.
And I took off with the lawn mowing business, et cetera, and the hour meter has been changed, but it's probably getting close to 3,000 hours.
Wow.
Where it sits.
Two-wheel drive.
Two-wheel drive.
Pretty decent hydraulics for such a small tractor.
It is. It is definitely underpowered. There is no denying that fact, but it's one of those that is what it is. I think it was honestly a little bit ahead of its time, but the practicality of this tractor is just through the roof. It's unreal. Mike,
this looks like a contraption. What is this?
Well, Tim, as you can probably tell, I did not spend much money on this. And ironically, this was not built out of necessity. This was built because I had a pile of parts in the corner that I didn't want to throw away. So I thought, what can we come up with? But ironically, it's become the most useful attachment I have for these small tractors.
It's got a water tank.
So long story short, years ago, we bought an old car wash, tore it down, and this is a PTO driven power washer.
No kidding.
So obviously, as you mentioned before, I'm in the excavating business and I'm limited to where I can wash for water supply.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to do that down here at the house or where we have city water or a well. So I had all this stuff laying around. This here is actually off a Ford sickle bar mower.
Yeah, your PTO shaft.
PTO shaft and the pulley. The pump is out of the old car wash. The frame is out of an old log splitter that was going to get scrapped. And the tank is actually off an old Mack truck that I renovated. I kind of pieced it all together, and this thing has been one useful tool. I put 75 gallon of water in it. Depending on the tip size or the RPM you run the tractor, I can power wash between 45 minutes to an hour.
75 gallons will last you 45 minutes or an hour.
Yep.
And you get decent pressure, obviously, enough to do the job.
I can jack it all the way up to 3,500 PSI.
Oh my goodness.
I run it about 2,800.
Yeah, you don't want to take the paint off.
Yeah, kind of where it seems to be happy at. I do have a little Hotsy tank that I can hook in series with it if I want to steam clean. Obviously, that does require some electricity, but it's just handy. We take it out on jobs. I can wheel it right up on the trailer. We have a breakdown on the job, take it right out there, run it, do whatever we want. I'll take it to the top of the hill and clean stuff off or I bring it down to the shop.
655 handle it well?
Don't even know what's back there.
Unbelievable.
Don't even know what's back there.
That's a great idea. You could sell these, Mike.
I'll tell you what, like I said, I built it because I had the parts. But if this thing goes down, it will be repaired because it gets used on a regular basis. And this usually is the tractor of choice just because it's so small.
Handy.
Maneuverable, and it burns very little fuel.
Yep.
Very little fuel.
I see the green logo on this one. That means it's a new one.
This is a new one.
Now, it's got 94 hours on it. I want you guys to notice that the plastic is still on the seat. I get all kinds of grief because I left the plastic on my seat.
I leave it on there as long as it'll last because that's one more layer of protection because eventually the vinyl is going to be your layer of protection and you're going to use it up.
That's what I kept saying.
But yours grew mold.
See, I got holes in the plastic and then it rained in it.
Oh, yes. Well, I mean, at some point you have to cut the cord, Tim, and you have to let her go.
1025R. Obviously, we are quite familiar with this tractor. Tell me the story.
So you are way more familiar with this tractor than me. I'll be honest with you. This is actually my stepfather's tractor, and my stepfather comes from the power equipment industry. Whenever it comes to owning a tractor, he knows zero. And it was
don't say anything bad about your.
No, I'm not saying anything he wouldn't say himself.
Okay.
And we got to tell the truth, Tim. We got to be honest. So, and no disrespect to him, but he was coming to me for advice on buying a tractor.
Yeah.
And my tractor level and experience is up here. He's down here, and it's hard to talk the same language.
Yeah.
And he said something about buying one of the orange ones. I'm like, uh-oh, we got to intervene. So I said, go on the YouTubes and check out this guy, Tractor Time with Tim. And he does a really good job of reviews and comparisons. And I think he binge watched your videos for maybe 3 weeks or so. And then he got down between the 2025 or the 1025, and he decided this was the right build for what he's doing. We use it a lot for maintenance down at our other properties. And so, yeah.
Happy with it? You think he chose the right size?
Yeah, this is perfect for him. Like I said, he's truly a novice, and this is a very user-friendly tractor.
It is.
It's a very well balanced tractor with a drive over deck and the quick hitch loader.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking about a guy that struggles to change oil. He can take the loader on and off himself. He can take the deck on and off himself. He can take the brush hog up and down himself. I get very few phone calls needing assistance with this tractor. I have used it very little. What little bit I have used it, I've been thoroughly impressed with it. If this tractor had steer brakes on it, I would buy one. I guess I'm an old school operator. I operate in a different era, but that's the big holdback for me on this compared to these older series tractors. Other than that, this is the first series they come out with, to me, that's comparable to the 55 series.
Interesting observation. We ought to do a video, a separate episode at some point on steering brakes. We'll do that. Now, this is a guest star.
Yes, now this is the one tractor in the lineup. I don't know, but this tractor is very familiar with YouTube.
Yeah, it's one you don't own.
One I don't own, correct.
Right. Captain Kleeman.
This is Captain Kleeman's tractor. You guys that watch his channel, you know that he uses this thing like a D9 dozer. It gets used and abused, and it's still, for the most part, in one piece. But in the 55 series of tractors, this was the first real compact tractor. Like, this actually went into the tractor world. The 655 is just kind of an oversized lawnmower. This here, I think you could actually consider a tractor.
Yeah. This one's four-wheel drive.
This one is four-wheel drive. I think they changed the horsepower ratings a few times. It's around the 20 horse.
Okay.
20 horse rating. It'll take a 50 or 60-inch belly mower. Got a full class 1 3-point hitch on it. 70A loader. The loader is quick hitch.
Now, you and I did an episode where we showed the next tractor in the lineup, and I made an error in that. I said that those were all made in Japan, that they were Yanmar tractors, and I found out right after that episode that's not true. All of these 55 series were made in Horicon, Wisconsin.
Really?
And that's why they're so special, to be honest. The 50 series, which was of the same era, and the 70 series were the Yanmar gear drive tractors at the same time as these 55s. And my dad bought the other one. Yep. And I wish he would have bought, now that I understand these tractors, totally different machine.
Yeah, there's really no comparison between the two. The first thing everybody always compares is the gear driven versus hydrostat, but even with that, they're still totally different tractors.
Yeah, well, it makes sense. They're made by different manufacturers.
Right.
Now, this guy's had a repeat appearance. This is his second appearance on the channel.
Yeah, it's the star of the show right now. This is the 855. This one here jumps up to about 24 horse and actually goes to a little bit of a bigger frame.
Yeah.
This is the 2-wheel drive version. I saw this tractor cheap one day. I bought it for $1,600 because they said the hydraulics didn't work. And what had happened is this piece right here where you raise and lower the rear was broke, and they had this jammed all the way back against the relief.
Oh my goodness.
I didn't realize it until I got it home. Quick and easy, simple fix. And,
you know, I find these guys that find all these bargains, and I never do.
Yeah.
Christy, I always have to spend a lot on a tractor.
You do, yeah.
But this one here is probably the roughest one out of the bunch, but it's a good running tractor. Again, it's probably gets $200-300 a year on it.
You've added rear hydraulics to it. One valve looks like.
I did. These did come with a Power Beyond kit from the factory. I did find one for like $1,700 or $1,800 on eBay one day, and I got to looking at the plumbing schematic. I bought this thing for about 150 bucks. Hooked it up the same way the factory one is, and I got a hydraulic roller, and
Important guy here.
Yeah.
Got to take a phone call.
I got a hydraulic roller, and then I got a hydraulic dump trailer that I built that I mostly run on this particular
So
tractor.
it comes with a Power Beyond.
Yes, yep.
So, folks, if you have one of these tractors, we ought to be able to put the Summit kit on this system right here. In fact, we may do that with Captain Kleeman's tractor at some point in the future.
He's got a few attachments he'd like to run on that, and he's eyeballed the system I got here. But this one hooks up the same way the factory one would. It's just in a different location.
Yeah. Old dump trailer.
So this has been on my channel a few times. I could do a whole video on this. This was my first welding project. This is where I learned how to weld. This thing started off life as a luggage cart at an airport.
Yeah.
I talked my grandfather into buying it one day, and I was very fortunate along the way. I had a neighbor that felt sorry for me, that taught me a few things, and a guy down the street that, well, he just knew I was going to kill myself if he didn't help me. So, so they pitched in, give me a hand, and I used to pull this behind the 655, loaded to the gills with about 300 pounds of weight on the front for all she was worth. And it was nice when we got her hooked to the 855 and had a little extra. But yeah, I use it for a water trailer on my go-kart track now, but it will raise and lower and dump. And it was a handy tool back in the day for a lot of the small jobs I had, mulching and stuff like that.
That's cool, that's cool. Great stories here. Let's see the next one. This is the big boy in the series.
So Tim, this is the crown jewel of the 955 series. This is the holy grail right here. I've been looking for one of these for a while. This is the big boy. This is the 955. It's approximately 34 horse, kind of depending on year. Got the same 70A loader as what the 755 does. And there's just so many good things to say about this tractor. I don't even know where to start.
This one's nice. I mean, it's in great condition. There's no dents or damage here.
This is a 92 model tractor, so let's just say it's 30 years old for simple math.
Yeah, but it's one of the last ones, right?
It's,
I mean, they made them till...
It's got 1,300 hours on it. As far as I know, they're all original. I seen one of these yesterday that was in better shape than this one. Garage kept mint. They're still selling for $16,000, $17,000.
Yeah,
I
it's
didn't
crazy.
quite pay that for this one, but whenever I seen it on Marketplace, I've been looking for one for a while. And they're either immaculate or not much left of them.
So the 55 series, can you get parts?
Yes. One thing that's awesome about John Deere is you can go online to the John Deere parts lookup, and you can actually look up your own parts. It's one of the things I love about John Deere. I have worked on all these tractors, and I have not found a part that I can't get yet. Now, I'm sure that time's coming, but there were so many of these tractors built, and there's so many of these parts that are interchangeable between other models that a lot of stuff's still available. The only thing that I know of that's getting a little bit hard to find is body panels.
Okay.
But other than that, everything I've found is still available.
Wow. 6, 7, 8, 955. But there's a couple more over here. 4066R. I'll be honest, this guy doesn't look to be in new condition.
No, this is a 2018. I think it's got maybe a little over 300 hours on it. I thought you might steal it, so I took your key there, Tim.
Well, there's 2 or 3 keys. Oh, there's keys all over the place. It doesn't really help you if you take the key when there's another key right here, Mike.
Fortunately, we live in a good area and don't have to worry about that a whole lot. Let's see what the hour meter reads here. 460. A few more than I thought. This here is actually used on our family farm down here. I talked the family into trading in a red one for the green one, and Tim, I'll have to be honest with you, out of the John Deere lineup, this one here has been a disappointment.
Oh my goodness, we can't say that.
We got to be truthful, right?
haven't really enjoyed this one much, huh?
This one here, I'm a huge John Deere tractor guy through and through, but I mean, you got to be honest.
Sure.
And it's just not one thing about this tractor. This tractor is a combo. From sightline visibilities to functionality to hydraulic power to feel a machine, all of them have been subpar to me.
Okay, so you mentioned hydraulic power. Let's start there. What's your issue with the hydraulics?
This thing has way more tractor than it has loader. I don't know if it's the angles or if it's the pressures. The factory has checked them, but this loader is very, very, very weak. This is a 60 horsepower tractor. I had a 35 horsepower John Deere that would lift more than this particular loader. There's something not jiving with that loader in this tractor, subject to opinion on what people may think.
Sure, but you got a good bit of experience, and that's helpful.
I've got thousands and thousands and thousands of hours of running this thing, and something is not right with that setup. I don't know the geometry, pressures, cylinder size, what's going on there. I personally think this is the H180 loader. I think this is the biggest tractor that loader is probably meant to be on, and that may be part of the problem right there. It's, I'm not gonna say it's useless, but it's not used to its full potential.
Okay, Mike, you're on your soapbox, keep going.
All right, so operator station. As you are sitting right there, as you turn around to look behind you, the first thing you will do is you will hit this and you'll dump whatever's in your bucket.
Yep.
Your leg hits that, bucket stump automatic.
Yep.
I've tried, I don't know how many different situations, I can't do it. The other thing is if you turn to look the other way, the emergency or the parking brake stop becomes a little bit of a nuisance. If you run this thing for a long period of time, you will end up with a bruise on your calf right there. This has, I think what they call the E-Hydro. Is that how John Deere describes it?
I think so, yeah.
And it's very delayed and sluggish. I can deal with that. But the issue I've been fighting for years is it's very unpredictable.
Okay.
I do not feel comfortable. I operate equipment for a living. This is one of the few pieces I don't feel comfortable operating around the people. You may roll forward and let off the pedal. It may roll 5 feet. It may roll 15 feet. There's all kinds of different settings here. I went through them with a dealer.
Yeah, there's a sensitivity setting. So you've tried. I mean, you're supposed to be able to adjust that sensitivity either way.
It's the consistency I mean, I wish the delay wasn't there. You know, these tractors being mechanical hydrostat, you let off the pedal, it's going. The best way I know to describe it that I know there's an issue is this is the only hydrostat tractor in my life I've ever drove and used the brake pedals on a regular basis.
Yeah.
And because I'm always covering the brake just to make sure I'm stopping and doing what I need to do when I need to do it.
Yeah, typically when you let off the hydrostat pedal, it stops.
And this one here, sometimes it'll do it and sometimes it'll keep rolling. It seems to do better on the auto throttle setting.
Okay.
But if you're brush hogging, you're running wide open, correct? The brush hog starts to lug down in tough grass.
Yeah, you should let off a little bit.
You let off the pedal a little bit. This thing is so far delayed, it'll keep going and kill itself before it starts slowing down the tractor.
Ah, that's frustrating. That's frustrating.
So sitting there in the seat, the next thing is the location of the rear remotes.
Okay, so the rear remotes are actually up high.
They're up high here. So a couple issues that brings to mind here. One is visibility.
Yeah.
This is kind of where you're looking behind, especially I used to run a side mount brush hog with this and it was just always right in the way of visibility. The other thing is these are mounted up so high. Most tractors have these mounted in the center of the tractor on the rear. Every implement I had to get new hoses and put on this thing just to get to reach these because we had a length issue because the mounting location is so different than the rest. And these handles here are, I think they're locked, but they're easily bumped and moved as well.
They're not very comfortable to me. I mean,
you're reaching behind you.
Yeah.
I guess we should point out that is the factory setup on this tractor. That's not an aftermarket. That is from John Deere themselves. As far as the power and the durability and maintenance issues and stuff like that, the tractor's been great. It's just all the little ergonomics
type things.
To me, you can tell whoever designed this don't run tractors for a living. That's probably my issue.
Yeah, you know, I tell you what, in the comments section, we'd like to hear if you've got a 4R, 4M tractor, we'd like to hear some of your feedback. Does what Mike is saying sound familiar to you? And then another question is maybe you can help him. Maybe there's a way to make some of these issues better.
Yep, absolutely.
I noticed, Mike, that every John Deere tractor you've ever had, you still have.
Most of them, yeah. There's a few small lawnmowers that have snuck through the cracks over the years, but there's a reason why we keep on to them. They're good tractors.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see if this one stays around.
I wouldn't put your money on that one, Tim.
I do appreciate you showing us around.
Hey, I don't get to show off. You know, I got with the YouTube channel in the construction industry, we don't get to show these little tractors a whole lot. I'm obviously passionate about them, so it was cool to find somebody that shared the same passion and kind of go down through the line. So,
yeah, thanks. And thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time on
Tractor
Time with Tim.